Live from a secret location somewhere in northeast Wisconsin, it's Clubhouse Live, the virtual show. We'll look back on how the Packers fared with our co-host Marquez Valdes-Scantling. We'll talk football. We'll take a peek at what's next on the schedule, and we'll have our usual fun too. We're ready. MVS is ready. Are you ready? It's time to get started. Let's open the doors and welcome to
Hey, everybody. What's going on? That's right. Welcome back to another edition of Clubhouse Live, the virtual show. We're back in the bubble high atop the 10th floor, the 222 building. You saw it in the intro. We also heard some booze in the intro. I think that's probably for Ricardo here, already getting ready for what happened to his beloved Bears. But hey, no longer a secret location. We're in downtown Appleton, Wisconsin, safe and sound, virtual. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. Guys, show number 297, inching closer to that milestone 300th show coming up here in a few weeks. Hope everybody's doing well in virtual land, safe and sound. As always, I've got to ask, though, it's playoffs, right? How's everybody doing tonight? Let's hear you all out there in virtual land. I'm sure everybody's pumped up. Another Monday show here. Regular season is over. We'll get to that here in a second. Get to our guys. They're waiting to get on to our virtual stage, virtual set. But one more time, at least this week, as far as the Bears Minute, I have to introduce the other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. Maybe we can hear those virtual boos again. It is Chicago Bears fan, if he still is a Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello, everybody. Ricardo, it's a rough day for the Bears.
That was a different kind of okay.
You hear the double doink? That's for you.
I did. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Well, no, I mean, it was a great day, actually.
It is.
It's a day of anticipation, excitement. Anytime there's a regime change, we'll see what happens. But it's been an interesting year.
Yeah.
And now we got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, Bears and Vikings cleaning house. So the NFC North in the news today. Of course, the Bears losing to the Vikings yesterday. They finished 6-11.
The toilet bowl, Brett.
Yeah, what is it? Another long off season, another regime change, coaching change, another rebuild. Wash, rinse, repeat for your team and for the Minnesota Vikings. This just happens every few years. But
it just happened to the Packers a few years ago, but yes, go on.
You know what happened? It was beautiful, sunshine, blue skies in Titletown, calm day, a little chilly, but nice and calm, a lot of sunshine. The sun always shining on Lambeau Field. So that's enough of your Bears Minute, Ricardo.
Quite the imagination.
Enough of your Bears Minute. Let's talk about this. Detroit Lions 37, Green Bay Packers 30. It wasn't the way the Packers wanted the end of the regular season, of course, but no harm, no foul, considering they entered Sunday's matchup against the Lions with the NFC's top playoff seed secured, and as such, that coveted first-round playoff bye. Devonta Adams surpassed Jordy Nelson for the most receiving yards in a single season in team history. David Bakhtiari, Josh Myers back in the lineup along the offensive line. Aaron Rodgers looked sharp, tossing a pair of touchdowns both to Allen Lazard. 14 of 18 passing for Aaron Rodgers, 138 yards, a 135.6 passer rating over the first half that he played. And speaking of Rodgers, Ricardo, he has now thrown 38 TDs without an interception against NFC North opponents over the past 2 seasons. That's dominance. He finishes this season with 37 touchdowns, just 4 picks, the league's top passer rating mark for the second straight year. Up next for the playoffs, but first is a well-deserved bye. By the way, Ricardo, we should probably ask Aaron Rodgers who he will hire as the Bears GM and coach, since he owns them, right? Hey, by the way, it doesn't matter. Mad Vince here tonight because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. He wants to win football games, whether they mean anything or not. We'll talk about if the games like that are meaningless with the guys, and they're here. Our co-host is back. Maybe we can get him onto the screen. It is Green Bay Packers wide receiver, MVS Marquez Valdes-Scantling. There he is, Marquez. Yes. And check out who's hanging out with Marquez tonight. It is fellow Packers wide receiver, Equanimeous St. Brown. There he is in virtual land. We'll get him onto the screen here in a little bit. First, a big thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Unison Credit Union. Unison proudly provides the people and businesses of Northeast Wisconsin with exceptional banking services and trusted financial guidance delivered by friendly experts. Personal checking and personal savings, investments, loans, business checking and business savings. Unison Credit Union, empowering you. Ricardo, you have been empowered to tell everybody how the show works, even when we're virtual.
Hey, that just makes it more interactive, Brett. So I'm interacting with that live chat right now as we speak. Vibrant chat. It is every week. and I relay those comments and questions right over to you guys. Those of you who are watching, there should be a live chat available if you look it through the viewer. And yeah, I'm monitoring that. I'll get those again as they occur right over to you.
Hey, everybody in virtual land, let Ricardo know you're watching from. It's always fun to hear what states and even countries are checking in tonight. So, again, hashtag Clubhouse Live. I'm on Twitter at PCBretzi. Please give me a follow at Marquez, or Marquez is at MVS_11, and EQ is at Equanimeous. And
At PC Ricardo.
yes, and Clubhouse Live, or Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live is our Facebook page. Please give us a like. So look at, you can't see it here, but it is in front of, I have both the Bears and the Minnesota Vikings welcome mats here on the stage, just because we can't help but beat up a franchise, or two in this case, when
Why
they're
did
down.
you put down the Lions one?
The Lions aren't making a coaching change.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's just the Bears and the Vikings who have cleaned house. So let's get our co-host up here in a second. He's in his 4th NFL season, all with the Packers. He catches passes. He's a willing blocker. He can stretch the field. We know he's from the 727, and he is not a fan of the music Rosie continues to pick for his intro.
Oh.
How about a Clubhouse Live virtual welcome for number 83, Green Bay Packers wide receiver, the Flash, right? Marquez Valdes-Scantling. There he is. Let's listen to the music. You got anything, Rosie?
That's a little techno. The kids, they love the techno.
All right.
A little better than last week, but nah.
Not working for you, MVS?
Yeah, nah. I mean, it's better than last week, but nah, it's not it.
It's getting better. It's getting a little bit better. What would you like? Rosie's listening right now. He's behind the scenes.
MVS.
What do you want, Marquez? We want to make you happy.
Just let me pick.
Well, we
There
do
you
have
go.
copyright details that we have to make sure that we don't get our butts sued.
Nah.
So
I'll talk to whoever owns the music first, and then they'll approve it, and then we'll be good.
Wow,
Okay.
MVS got pull.
well, we'll talk about
man.
MVS's schedule here in a little bit as far as the show goes, but maybe he can pull some strings.
Well, maybe he's trying to give a shout out to some friends of his
Yeah.
that make music. That's cool.
Yeah, let's do that. Rosie, you
All
okay
right.
with that? Rosie's giving me a thumbs up. He's good. So there we go. Marquez, not only the co-host, but the musical director as well.
DJ.
All right.
Everything, man. Man of many talents.
Yep.
Yes, you are. And I like what you're wearing on top of your head. Now, we talked about this off camera, but Tampa Bay Rays, he's a big Tampa Bay Rays fan, but when it's below zero here in northeast Wisconsin, we need some warmth. The Rays exude warmth.
I went to a baseball game there at, is it Tropicana?
Is it still Tropicana
Yeah,
Field?
Tropicana.
Yeah, what do you
Yep.
think of the stadium? I actually didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I walked all around. There are a lot of empty seats. It was before they had their recent success, but I didn't think it was that bad of a stadium, to tell you the truth.
Nah, I
MVS.
think it's a cool stadium. They have a indoor swimming pool.
Yep.
You have a fish tank with some stingrays in it, so that's also cool.
And they had like
Not
a
too
little
many
area,
stadiums.
like a dance area, like almost like a club setup, like right outside, like
Yeah,
by
man,
the
it's-
bleachers. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's lit, man. It's
Yeah.
lit for sure.
That,
I'm telling you.
Miller Park doesn't have that.
That sounds like my style, kind of
okay.
hanging out at a dance club, at a baseball. Look at me dancing a little bit, you know.
And you know the best part, Brother Brad? The tickets were like $8 for me to get in.
I bet you that's not the
loved
case now. Tampa Bay is a good team, real good team. They're just in the World Series recently. All right, MVS, but before we get into a little football talk, I want to promote your website one more time and the clothing line again for the folks that might have missed it when you joined the show, I guess a month or so back now, or more longer than that, but sickselection.com, S-I-K selection.com. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you have some of your own designs that are on sale right now. You're doing your own clothes designing yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of the items are designed by me and my closest friends. So, all those designs, like the everything that's on there, we personally design ourselves, and then we get created, and we do everything in house. So we're not like reaching out to other people to make our designs come to life. It's kind of our own thing that we do. And so, one of the designs I personally designed myself, but everything else we've all worked together to design. So.
Yes. Sick Selection. What does sick mean? S-I-K again?
Successful, innovative kings.
There you go. Successful, innovative kings.
Cool.
Sounds like me. Sick Selection.
So again, your creativity and your imagination is out of this world, bro.
Well, definitely check it out. It's a cool website, too. I was going through it again today and thinking about how that gift package is still yet to come at my doorstep, but
Hey,
we'll make
Brett,
it happen.
there's a
Yeah,
comment
I haven't seen the order.
Hey, MVS, there's someone who commented here, Nate Jansen. He says, hey, I think the race for Willie Adames.
Ooh, yeah. Willie Damas, a great brewer now.
My cousin, my uncle goes to the race fans. He said, you guys are going to love him. I'm not a Brewers fan, but turned out to be true.
He's been a
Great
great
player.
shortstop, a great addition to the Brewers, and carry them to the playoffs. But getting back to your sixth selection, maybe you could design something with a little Clubhouse Live theme to it. Maybe me and Ricardo, our faces, something. How's that sound?
Great.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to purchase it, then sure, we'll make it happen.
He's all about making money, Ricardo.
Green is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, Rosie, it's time, as always, for the MVS GIF of the night. Let's see how everybody's feeling. We can't see him. There it is. Yes. You know what that? It looks like you're saying first down, but what you're saying is it's on to the playoffs. Forward, onward.
On to the playoffs.
It's playoff time,
Moving
isn't
forward.
it? Best time of year.
And it's
Best
the coldest time of year,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Coldest time of year for sure.
I want to ask you this quickly before we talk about the playoffs a little bit, though. Yesterday, you had to exit the game with a back injury, so I'm sure everybody wants to hear from you. How are you feeling? What happened? And will we see you on the field for the divisional playoffs? Can you give us a little update on what's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. Tough guy, so won't be missing too much time, so we'll be all right.
There you go, right there. So we can expect to see number 83 helping lead the Packers to the Super Bowl. Any difference in energy, vibe in the building today, Marquez, now that the regular season's over, it's playoff time, or maybe not quite yet because you have that first-round bye and you just don't know who you're going to play?
I mean, obviously, everything. It's a little more serious, but we haven't really had the opportunity. Oh, there's Ace in the background. We haven't had too much opportunity to kind of see who we're going to be playing. So once we get that answer, then we'll be moving forward to how we're going to approach it.
You know, when you look at the playoffs, of course, a new format now, right? Only one team gets that first round bye, Ricardo. So I'm just kind of curious. Now, this is the second year in a row for the Packers and for you, Marquez. I guess what's more important, having that bye to get guys kind of healthy again and get everybody just kind of reorganized, regrouped. Although you did have a pretty late bye, was it week 13 this past regular season? So it's not like you really need that bye in that sense, or is it just a case of you're eliminating one level of the playoffs and it gets you one step closer to the Super Bowl? I guess in what way does that benefit you guys the most as you look at it?
All of the above. I mean, obviously, the season is long, so no matter if it's week 13 or week 1, you need as many days off as you can because this is a very physical game, and we need to be able to have some guys rest, myself included, because it's a long season, very physical game. And then obviously, one less game is always important, but I think the most important is, having home field advantage and having people have to come in and play in this cold weather. And I don't think there's not too many cold weather teams that are in the playoffs. I think Philly's probably the coldest team that has to play. So, any team that's coming up here having to play in these temperatures, they're going to feel it. And last year, we didn't really have a crazy amount of weather, to be honest. It was actually pretty nice for the NFC Championship game. So, with the weather being how it is right now, if it trends in that direction, it's going to be pretty tough for anybody to come in here and play in it. So.
Well, I've got some good news for you, Marquez. A long-range forecast, one of the local meteorologists tweeted it out today that right now, looking at that weekend, it is trending to look very similar to the weather we're having right now. You love it. You love it, right? The colder, the better.
Sure.
He's towing the party line there, right? The company line, but it's cold. It's cold. It's going to warm up here a little bit, but hey, that's your advantage. It's an open-air field, and that's what Lambeau Field's all about. You did mention some of at least you have 4 potential playoff opponents: San Francisco, Philadelphia, Arizona, and the Rams. Now, you've played 3 of those 4 teams, so I'm guessing that's a benefit, right? You at least, while you might end up playing the Eagles, a team that you haven't faced this season, it's got to there's got to be a benefit knowing that you face these teams, most of these teams that you might play in the playoffs, even though you don't know who you're going to play. You have that familiarity going in no matter what, for the most part, assuming it's one of those other 3.
Yeah, obviously, we've, like I said, we played, those teams before, but none of that kind of matters because it's always about a want to know mentality, because it's a new season. So we haven't played any of those teams because things change. New guys come in, guys get injured, new systems get in place. So we're gonna be facing a completely different team the second time around. And I think that's just kind of how we got to approach it. You never want to take a team lightly because you've already beat them in the regular season.
Let's look at yesterday's game just briefly. Some out there, Marquez, we're calling it a meaningless game, right? But you guys had everything clinched. But is there such a thing as a meaningless game in the NFL when it comes to you guys and your coaches? I'm guessing that there was more meaning to the game than maybe some are thinking.
No, it's never a meaningless game. Every game matters because might be your last opportunity. So you never want to take a game, for granted or take it lightly. It could be your last play, it could be your last time on that team. So you want to make everything count. And obviously, it's a divisional game, so we obviously wanted to win it, which is why we still competed all the way up until the very end. And they played hard as well. They didn't really have much to play for, but like I said, division games always are important. They always matter.
Matt LaFleur, by the way, now Ricardo, the longest tenured head coach in the NFC North at just 3 seasons in. He was a little feisty afterwards. I don't know if you saw that, but when he met with reporters, particularly when it came to the defense and how it played, I guess really in those 2 trick plays, those chunk plays, the Lions executed. But Marquez, I think is a great example, maybe, and you can back me up, but a great example of the culture, right? It is meaningful to him. You still want to be playing at the top of your game. You want to be executing. I guess that's the culture he has established. You've said the standard is still the standard regardless of what's at stake.
100%. Like I said, no matter who's out there, no matter if Aaron Rodgers is sitting down or whatever, the standard is the standard. No matter who's playing, we always want to win every game. And so we didn't do that yesterday, and we fell a little short. We made some costly mistakes, and that's not who we are as a team. So we got to make sure that we don't have that be who we are. Next week 1 that we have coming up here in 2 weeks.
Speaking of Coach LaFleur, the Packers organization overall, Marquez, your 4th season in Green Bay, but do you look at the situation in Green Bay with the Packers and realize or maybe even appreciate more the spot you're in, considering when you look around in the context of what has happened in the NFC North, coaching change, regime change in Minnesota, Chicago, there's always upheaval, Detroit's been struggling, and just kind of feel like, yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot, even though it's super cold. But I'm in a pretty good spot. A lot of consistency, a lot of success in Green Bay for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we had the coaching change my first year here. The coach got fired, toward the end of the season, I think maybe like week 12 or something like that. So I had to go through that. But to go to 2 NFC championships, and then back, to the playoffs with the first seed again, I can't ask for more, and obviously playing with the best quarterback to ever throw a football. It's always a plus too. And then just having, a lot of great guys around me to teach me, and, show me along the way. So, in year 4, I can teach younger guys and, the standard keeps up, from no matter what happens and no matter what changes are made.
The standard is the standard. Not to mention you get to hang out with us Monday nights too. I mean, that is a highlight of your Packers career. There's no doubt about that.
1,000%.
Hey,
1,000%.
I have a question to ask. I apologize if you asked this before of MVS. Do you like having that 17th game, possibly in the future an 18th game as a player? Do you like having added games? I mean, there's added paychecks and things like that, but I guess I'm just curious.
No, I don't. I mean, the season's already long enough. So not really a super fan of, the extra game. Like, yeah, it's cool to have an extra paycheck, but, I like my health a little more than the paychecks. So, the extra game isn't ideal. I don't want to have to be playing 20 regular season games by the time it's all said and done, and then have to go and play in the playoffs. I mean, by that time we'll be, in the football season for 6 months straight. So
going into March,
it feels like even that one game extra feels longer. It really does. It feels like we should be in the playoffs right now. There should have been a playoff round here on January 10th. One more thing, Marquez, before we get EQ onto our virtual screen here, but David Bakhtiari, Josh Myers back, Jair has a good chance to be a go for the playoffs. A report out today, I have it right here, that Zadarius Smith has been cleared. That's a lot of talent coming back just in time for the playoffs. That's a big boost. That's got to be a huge benefit to you guys, not only to have those guys back, but then look at the depth that you've accumulated and built with those guys having to play in their place. I mean, it's a good situation for the Packers going into the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, we losing Jair early in the season kind of forced, us to go out and find other guys, and we got a hit in Jim and Rasul, and he's been playing lights out since. So I don't know how you can ask for a better situation for a guy who, was a Pro Bowl alternate, coming in halfway through the season. So that just speaks to the type of player that he is, and it speaks to the volume that they can go out and get guys who are good players. And then obviously losing Zadarius, who's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, losing him early on is never good. But we've given other guys more opportunities to come in and be successful. And I think we've done a really good job, up front on the D-line with the situation that we've had. And then obviously getting him back healthy is only going to make our defense just so much better.
Absolutely. Should be fun to watch. It's going to be very intriguing and looking forward to it, but not before we all have a little bit of a breather. And speaking of breather, guys, we're going to take our first time out. It's time for tonight's Mark Olejniczak Realty Stat Pack. If you are buying or selling real estate in Northeast Wisconsin, contact the licensed professional realtors at Mark Olejniczak Realty. Call 920-432-1007 or visit olej.com. olej.com. Here's a stat tonight. Aaron Rodgers' streak with at least 2 touchdowns and no interceptions has reached 7 straight regular season games. That's the longest such streak in team history and the longest or second longest streak in NFL history. How about that, Ricardo? Tom Brady had 9 such consecutive games in 2010. Speaking of Rodgers, in his last 7 games, he has thrown for 1,929 yards, 20 touchdowns, and no interceptions while completing 72% of his passes. And his 449 touchdown passes as a member of the Packers are the 3rd most in NFL history by a quarterback with one franchise. It's some pretty heady stuff there for number 12. And MVP number 4 coming away, despite what Bruce Arians thinks over there in Tampa Bay, Ricardo. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
He said it would be a travesty if Tom Brady doesn't win the MVP. It will be a
Let's not-
travesty if Aaron Rodgers doesn't win the MVP.
I'm just saying this it's not a travesty. Any one of those, you can make a case for any one of those guys. It's making it seems like Aaron Rodgers threw 10 touchdowns or something throughout the season. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think
He's a little old though.
Who? Tom Brady?
Bruce Arians. Well, both.
Bruce Arians. Yeah. Well, they got a little deal going on into Tampa Bay. They got to kind of clean up. But okay, Marquez, let's get your guest up here and going. Our guest tonight is in his 4th NFL season, all with the Packers. He was selected by the Packers in the 6th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. Our guest tonight has appeared in 13 games this season, finishing the regular season with 9 catches for 98 yards. Our guest tonight also finished 3rd on the team in special teams tackles with 7. He played collegiately at Notre Dame, where he started 25 of the 32 games in which he appeared, finishing with career totals of 92 receptions, 1,484 receiving yards, and 13 touchdowns. Our guest tonight joined MVS right there to become the first rookie tandem in Packers history to tally at least 20 catches with an average of at least 15 yards per catch. That's stretching the field. Our guest tonight also joins MVS in having names, guys, total names that represent 19 letters in the entire alphabet. 19 of the 26. How about that? Our guest tonight has a first name that means calm or composure, and I guess comes from a character in a novel. That's interesting. We'll ask him about that here in a little bit. Our guest tonight, guys, did you know this, is not only fluent in English, but German and French.
Whoa. And
get this, he has taken the SAT in 3 languages. Is that true? Come on, that can't be true. We'll ask him about that here in a little bit as well. But for now, how about a Clubhouse Live virtual welcome for Green Bay Packers wide receiver. Number 19, Equanimeous St. Brown. EQ is here tonight. There he is. There's the intro music. Yes.
Yo.
EQ.
it's rocking.
How do you like your intro
How
music?
you guys doing?
You like that
I love
music?
it. I'm not like Quez, I like this music.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
No, you
There
don't.
is-
You're such a liar, bro.
A thumbs up
Such a
for
liar,
Rosie.
bro.
A thumbs up for Rosie. Hey, Marquez,
Thumbs up.
EQ, thanks for joining us. But because this is Marquez's show and you are his guest, MVS always asks the first question of the night.
Is it okay that you just lie consistently? Is that like something you're gonna like always do, or what?
I'm not a liar. What have I lied about?
Talk about it off camera.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, you can talk about it on camera too. I'm sure the viewers.
I
would
love the
enjoy
tension.
That.
This is like Kenny Clark.
Nah, I don't want to do that to him. He knows what he did. That's why he's
I've
laughing.
got
He
you.
knows what he did.
I remember
knows
EQ
what
Marquez
it
says I lie a lot too and called me a sociopath. He called me that earlier in the season, much to the chagrin of my mother, who was a devoted follower of the show. She was a little upset.
I don't know if that was too far off the truth, my friend, and I've known you for a long time.
I am.
All right.
I am an incredible athlete for almost 50 years old, by the way, and I can.
Whereas has a
easily
lot of
do-
assumptions he makes.
Yeah.
By all factual things that I see. So I make the assumption
He
off
makes
the things
things
that I
up in
see
his
that are
head.
factual.
He makes things up and then jumps to conclusions like no other.
This is good.
We'll just
I
let
like
him
this.
go. This is MVS versus Kenny Clark, round
Yes.
2 almost. Marquez, does at least Equanimeous smell good?
I mean, he takes his hygiene serious, so I'll give him that.
Okay.
You know,
Good. That's a step. in the right
but
direction.
he's very bad mentally, though. You know, the way he treats people. So
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Brett, I got an online question here.
Yeah, go ahead. Maybe we need to ease
we
the
have-
tension.
GBP Clark is asking what language in the SAT did he score the best?
I actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The SAT in German and French wasn't scored as high as it wasn't the same score system as the English one, but like I think my English one was out of 2400 and the German French one was out of like 900 maybe, but
Okay.
I don't remember what my score was exactly, but I think I would have done better in the English one, I'd guess.
So he did take the SAT in 3 languages. By the way, my score was 3200 English.
What do you mean? We don't take the SAT around here.
I did just for fun.
Oh,
I
we
just
do the
wanted to see what
ACT.
I could get, and I got a
Alright.
3200.
I think that. See, you were talking
I
about
thought
the
the max
lies,
was
MVS.
2400.
Here we go.
yeah, he's a liar.
On the SAT.
Well, pardon me?
I thought the,
So what
I thought
was
the
the
max score
max?
was 2400.
My
on
max score is
SATs.
32.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
On the ACT?
No, SAT.
No, the ACT
No.
is no.
We
the
take
ACT
the
is like
ACT up
31.
here.
I know. I took the ACT. I got a 110, I think.
That it only goes up to 35.
I'm telling you, I'm a
shut up.
genius.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm crazy smart.
God.
I get beyond the max. So, listen, EQ, as we said, okay, fluent in German and French along with English. Can you tell Ricardo here that the Bears still suck in German, please?
Die Bears sind immer noch Arsch.
Wow.
And I would say that I lost a lot of my French because I don't speak it every day. So when people ask me, I don't really claim French anymore like that. But I still understand it and speak a little broken French, but I haven't spoken in years. But German, I'm consistently speaking with my mother. So
Oh, still bilingual.
I
Yeah,
haven't
well, how does
spoken
it-
French since high school.
How does that feel to hear the Bears still suck in German? That feels good, doesn't it?
I don't know. I could go for a bratwurst, though.
So I'm thinking
I feel like all
learning-
Germans just like speak angry.
Yeah.
Like, every time you hear a
Did you-
German talking,
You
it just
see that
sounds
TikTok
angry. It
where
can
they're
be the
showing
nicest
the
statement.
random words and then they say it in German and it sounds so violent.
Like they can be the nicest thing, but it just sounds angry.
Well, I'm guessing, EQ, if you can learn French and German, that learning an NFL playbook's a breeze.
I mean, it's harder than college for sure in high school, but playbooks for me have been not as hard as it seemed for other people maybe, but having 3 different playbooks in like since college and in my NFL, 2 years in the NFL was pretty tough. In 3 years, 3 different playbooks. So, but it's been good to have the same one in the past 3 years.
So have you
Actually,
ever?
wasn't that hard to learn.
Oh boy, here we go.
No. Actually, me and EQ, we were probably the
Yeah,
fastest. to
it
pick
wasn't
up
that
on the
hard,
playbook,
but
like in our class,
yeah,
we picked it up pretty quickly.
Equanimeous, have you ever trash talked or cussed somebody out on the field in German? And they're just looking at you like, what is this guy saying? What's he doing?
no, I've never done that. No, when it comes to cussing, the first language that comes to mind is English. I've never like, yes, yeah.
You should. Next time, there's something for you to do next time. something happens, a DB's giving you some garbage, just start speaking German to him and see what he does.
But I'd have to think about that. Like, I have to premeditate that. Like, I feel like when you talk shit, it's just a reaction. Like, you don't think about it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I gave you something to think
Yeah.
about here during this bye week, right? A little
I
homework
might.
assignment.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a very interesting background, one that we actually didn't get into, Ricardo, when he was on the show with us last year. It was a doubled guest show with MVS joining Alan, of course. So first, explain everyone who might not be familiar with your story about how your first name came to be and its meaning. Was I right that it kind of meant composure, calm, and was it taken from a book? Your dad found it?
Yeah. So my dad had a friend that wrote a book. I don't know what the book was about. Probably not even a popular book, but there was a character in the book that his name was Equanimeous, and my dad loved the name. He asked him where he got it from, and it does come from the word equanimity, which means like calm, level-headed, good in pressure situations. So, yeah, that's where he got my name from.
Interesting. Yeah, of course, his dad, John Brown,
Yep.
a former champion bodybuilder, Mr. Universe, Mr. World. I know we talked about that last week. But your full name, can you give us your full name? It's Equanimeous Tristan.
Imhotep J. St. Brown.
Unbelievable. I think all 26 letters are represented right there in the entire name. So what is the meaning of all of that?
Tristan was the name my mom would have named me.
Okay.
Funny story, she actually cried when my dad told her my name. Apparently, he didn't warn her what my name was going to be. And then in Germany, you can't name your kids whatever. Like, you can't name your kids whatever you want. Like, there's actually like a list of names, of regular names you have to name your kids. So my mom cried. Like, my parents wouldn't be able to pronounce his name, all this. And so my mom would have named me Tristan. And then Imhotep is just my dad. The second name my dad would have named me. And then J stands for John. And then he added the Saint to the Brown because Brown was originally a slave name, and he didn't want us to be associated with that.
Fantastic name. That is interesting. I'm guessing that your mom has gotten over it, though. She's okay with EQ
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
EQ's cool, right? It sounds cool.
Yeah, and I'm happy my name's not Tristan.
Don't tell her that, though. Don't tell her that. So,
I'll tell her that too, straight to her face.
hey, Rosie, can you get a photo of EQ's parents up onto the screen? Man, they were getting some serious airtime. There they are. John, is it Miriam, your mother? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Now, check that out. They got tons of airtime. That, by the way, that photo taken from the NFL's Twitter account at NFL. With the double jersey there, there's your number 19, your brother's number 14, the dual,
Very cool.
the dual jersey. So I think fans, EQ, want to know, how did they do it? How can you get a jersey like that?
My dad used to have a clothing business way back when. So he went to LA, bought 2 jerseys, and he still had contacts in that industry, and they just combined 2 jerseys. So it's really just 2 jerseys, and one has the front of mine and the back of the other, and vice versa.
It looked very professionally done. It looked very good.
I thought I was great that they kept showing the parents on there. It was a
Yes.
cool part of the game. I have Iowa Joe. He's asking a question, and he wants to know, from EQ, hey, if your mom was upset with your name, what did she think of, your brother's names? Who also
Amon-Ra.
have very unique
Yeah.
name. Amon-Ra. Oh, is it Osiris? What did she think of those
Osiris,
names?
yeah.
Osiris?
I mean, following me, that's not as bad, so she was probably used to it by then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used to the shock. Used to the shock.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah, your jersey, your brother Amon-Ra, who just set the franchise record for most receiving yards by a rookie for the Lions. But everybody in Packerland, Packers Nation wants to know, EQ. Obviously, your parents want both of you guys to do well, but what team were they rooting for yesterday? And remember, this is a Packers show.
They didn't make that clear to me, what team they're rooting for. I assume they just don't really care when we play each other. They just want us to do our best and be healthy at the end of the game. So
Hey, Rosie,
I
put
think
up
it really matters to them who won.
Yeah, Rosie, put up the other picture of the brothers exchanging jerseys. There they are, EQ and Amon-Ra. Good moment for the St. Brown, so that's pretty cool. But Marquez, tell me a little bit about your teammate here. You guys came up in the same draft class, 2018. You guys have grown up together in Green Bay. What do you like about this guy? What does he bring to the team? What is he going to bring to the team come playoff time? Brag him up.
Yeah, I mean, EQ is my guy. Like I said, we came in, the same class. We were both, the underdogs, being the late draft, late draft picks. So no one really had high expectations, of what we could do. And I think we kind of just kept exceeding those expectations. He had to battle some injuries early in his career, but every time he's been out there, he's been the same guy. Just gotten better, been productive, and done everything that they've asked him to do at a high level, and been one of the most consistent players that we've had, around. No matter what's going on, he's gonna be the same guy every time. And I think that's just a testament to who he is as a player and what he can provide for this team.
Yeah, good stuff from Marquez. And a question, though, I have for EQ about his brother. Obviously, you're in your fourth season, Equanimeous St in his rookie season. What kind of advice, tidbits did you give him as he was getting ready to enter the NFL? And number two, can you quit giving him that advice? Because it looks like he's going to be a thorn in the Packers' side for years to come. So quit talking to him.
Well, I've been training with my brother my whole life, so I've known his talents, his skill sets, what he can do. And then for me being in the NFL for 3 years, I saw him training. We lived together during his combine prep and pro day prep, so I knew what he was capable of, and I knew that he would have no problem fitting in the NFL and going out there and making plays. So there's not much I could tell him from a wideout perspective because we grew up with the same coaches, same training. So I knew he was going to do well wherever he got drafted. So, and he showed that, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, had a heck of a rookie season. Looks like he's going to be a good one for a while. But I'm kind of curious, speaking of preparing Equanimeous, your father, as I mentioned, a champion bodybuilder. So I'm wondering, with his background, competing, preparing, training, the mental aspect of competing, how did that carry over to you and your brothers as you were beginning your journey through football?
I think mainly to help with just the discipline it takes, to be a bodybuilder is different. I would say it's harder than to be an NFL player. The discipline they have to have of eating right, training hard every day, sleeping right, just watching calories and stuff like that. So I'll say the biggest advantage it gave me was just the mental discipline to, train when I have to and just make the right decisions when, I had to make a choice on whether to train or not to train or, take a day off. I think that's the biggest help that my father's given me and my brothers.
Let's talk a little bit about your career here. As MVS said, some injuries. You had a strong rookie season coming out of the chute well, but then obviously I have it right here, 2019 out with the ankle injury. You suffered in preseason. Then you had the knee injury last year where you missed a little bit of time, put you on the injured reserve. And then you come out this year, released in the final cut down this season, but then signed to the Packers practice squad. Now here you are, active roster. And you had to deal with a little bit of a concussion issue, but you're back. So how would you define your NFL journey? There's definitely been some ups and downs, but how do you look at it 4 years in? And how have you kept an even keel? We've talked about with MVS. You just kind of have to stay steady through the ebbs and flows.
Yeah, I mean, with injuries, I knew that there's a high chance of injuries happening in football. It's part of the game. I want to say it's like a 100% injury rate in the NFL, so there's a high chance that could happen. It's a physical sport, so when that happened, I just had to, work on my physical health, keep my mind right, and then, it's always about me doing my best, putting in the work, and I think that no matter what happens with my career, that if I always train hard, that I feel like I'm gifted enough, talent-wise, that if I put the work in, that when I'm looking back on my career, that everything would have panned out how I wanted.
You learn anything about yourself through the adversity, through the injuries, and then maybe this year, starting on the practice squad? I guess, what have you learned about yourself through all this?
I wouldn't say I learned anything new. I already knew that no matter what happens, I'm always gonna, go hard, put my head down, just put the work in, and then find my way back up to where I want to be at. So I won't say I learned anything new about myself. I think I already knew that.
Couple more things, Ricardo, then it's time for our social media question of the night. Special teams, though, that's one area that you've embraced, right? This season, an avenue you saw that could lead you onto the active roster, and then here you are, 7 special teams tackles later, one of the team leaders in special teams, a gunner that's making plays. So I guess it was kind of a mindset switch for you, right? Embracing that phase of the game.
Um, I wouldn't say it was a mindset switch. My rookie year, they really didn't allow me or Quez to play special teams. I don't know if they didn't believe in us, but I always thought special teams I could do it. I already knew I could do it because I did in college as well. So I just appreciate Mo for giving me a chance to show that I could make tackles and make plays on special teams. And I knew that was going to be one of the roads I had to take to make it back on the roster and make it back on the team. So yeah, I'm glad they gave me a chance on special teams to make some tackles and make some plays.
Ricardo, it's 1/3 of the game, right? It's a very important part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams, they all work hand in hand. And complementary football, that's what gets these guys to the level that they're at right now here as they fight for the Super Bowl berth. One more thing, Equanimeous. Aaron Rodgers reached out to you at the end of training camp. We've seen the stories about that and heard Aaron Rodgers, some of the quotes he had. As he put it, quote, a nice conversation with you. Also said he's a guy I trust a lot. What did he tell you as you were getting yourself re-signed to the Packers practice squad? What did it mean for him to tell you that stuff and to say that, hey, you're going to have some opportunities, you're going to make some plays, knowing that the NFL's MVP and Pro Football Hall of Famers telling you that?
It meant a lot. I didn't expect him to reach out to me after that. So definitely come from him. The greatest quarterback. The best player on our team. It really meant a lot for him, and it made me feel like he wanted me on the team. And I knew that at some point, knowing how the season goes and being here for 4 years, that I'd have a good chance of making it back on the roster if I kept showing up and making plays.
Yes, making plays, offense, special teams wise. So good conversation with MVS and EQ. Ricardo, I know you have a Facebook question, social media question. I believe this actually is for EQ, and it relates to football versus football, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Cindy Ann Fenton on Facebook, EQ, she wants to know, having a German mom, was there any pressure growing up to play soccer as opposed to American football, or did you play both?
I only played soccer in Germany during the summer. We used to visit every summer for 2 months. So she would put me and my brothers in a summer camp right in our local town, and we'd play soccer. But me and my middle brother never played soccer in the States, but my younger brother did up until, I want to say, 8th grade. But as I got older, I've definitely learned to love soccer more than I did when I was younger, because when I was a little kid, the stereotype for soccer was that it was for girls and that guys only played, football, basketball, baseball in America. So as I got older, I wish I played a little more soccer growing up, maybe high school too. So yeah, that's in the past now.
And now he's playing American football. By the way, we've seen Alan Lazard kind of knocking the soccer ball around pregame. Marquez, you play a little soccer?
No, I actually played baseball. That was my first sport. Never really played soccer. It was always baseball for me. Hence
What
the Tampa
position
Bay
in
Rays
baseball?
hat. I was a shortstop and center fielder.
Oh, wow.
Yes, center field with that speed. You could probably play all 3 outfield positions with your speed.
Nah, I can't cover that much ground.
Brett, they usually put the best players at those 2 positions, besides pitcher.
That's where I always play.
Yeah.
Center field,
Exactly,
pitcher,
all right.
and shortstop. In fact,
All at the same time?
pretty much. I would throw the ball, and then I'd quick run behind the plate, get the gear on, catch it, and then when the guy hit the ball, I'd race out to the outfield and make a diving catch in center field. It was
Again,
incredible.
this video game you play is amazing, Brett, where you're able to do all these
Absolutely.
But it's only in his head. It's literally only in his head.
Oh, boy, you don't want to know what's going on in my head most days. It isn't a pleasant experience, that's for sure. But hey,
This is why I called you the name I called you last time, because of statements like this. So
easy. Mom, I know you're watching.
Quez doesn't know the difference between a joke and a lie.
Here we go. This is what we want. Tension.
Look at that. And look at EQ just calmly sipping the Capri Sun.
The juice box.
And dishing it out.
anybody who drinks Capri Suns is also a psychopath because they only make you thirstier.
Psychopath. That's right, not sociopath. I'm getting my
Psychopath,
paths
yeah.
mixed up. Hey,
See,
for
see his assumptions. I drink Capri Sun. I'm a psychopath. It's like,
Yeah,
what's
because
the correlation?
you're only going to be more. I just told you why. I literally said it. Anyone who drinks it.
That doesn't
only
make you a
gets thirsty
psychopath,
after.
though.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't make you a
That's why I
psychopath,
said
though.
it.
I like
That's
Kool-Aid.
why I said it.
Kool-Aid. Who drinks Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid.
What, like 2?
What does that make me if I
Kool-Aid's
like
lit.
Kool-Aid?
Someone from the
Kool-Aid's lit.
1970s?
Kool-Aid's lit.
Kool-Aid's lit. There we go.
There.
Thank you very much. So, hey, for having her question selected, Cindy does win a signed photo of MVS. Again, we will open up our social media question of the night each week, and then we'll ask a question live during Monday's show. Look for it on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. All right, hey, guys, I'm going to try to get the challenge flag up. And, Rosie, we need some music because it is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge, sponsored by Bobbles Galore. Bobbles Galore is your source for the largest selection of bobbleheads you will find anywhere. All sports, all teams, entertainers, and more. Shop Bobbles Galore for that unique piece for your mantle or man cave. And, guys, they have a great selection of Packers, Brewers, and Bucks bobbleheads. Bobbles Galore also makes custom bobbleheads that are perfect for weddings, birthdays, retirements, or any special occasions. And check this out. We're going to show it off again. Bobbles Galore is announcing its newest creation. Put it up on the screen, Rosie. It is the Alan Lazard Lizard bobblehead. Yes, that's coming out here. I know it's going to get onto the screen. There it is. Alan Lazard Lizard bobblehead. The bobblehead features the Packers wide receiver together with his green and gold bobbling lizard friends. It's a limited edition bobblehead. Only 500 will be made each week, individually numbered. It will also have Bobble Galore's unique AR or augmented reality technology so that it comes alive and interacts with the user. Okay, Rosie, you can get the guys back on the screen. The Alan Lazard Lizard bobblehead is currently in production and will not be shipped until early spring of 2022. However, pre-sale orders for the bobblehead can be made now at bobblesgalore.com. All the bobbleheads shown here on Clubhouse Live are available on bobblesgalore.com. Look for special website discounts. The more you buy, the more you save. Okay, guys, it's Clubhouse Live challenge time. Here we go. We're going to play How Well Do You Know? It is EQ, a rapid-fire trivia question. A trivia game in which I'll ask you 5 questions. They each pertain to the same category. If you think you know the answer, just raise your hand. Ricardo and I will try to see who raises his hand first. And Ricardo, each question is worth 1 point.
I'm keeping track.
Ricardo's keeping track. And then at the end of those 5 questions, there is a bonus question of a point total that I'll determine to make sure Marquez wins the game because it is his show. He is the star of the show. Now, you guys have virtual playing partners tonight. Marquez, you are playing for Kathy Vandermeer. Can you say hi to Kathy?
Let's go, Kathy. We're going to get this dub for you.
All right. Fantastic. EQ, your playing partner tonight is Candy Zippy. Can you say hi to Candy?
What's up, Candy? Get this win.
Yeah, so this is what you guys are playing
sound confident.
for. Hey,
No confidence in his voice.
check this out, guys. Can you see that? That is, from Bobbles Galore, a Giannis Antetokounmpo bobblehead, right? The Milwaukee Bucks are the reigning NBA champions. Giannis on his way to another MVP award, possibly. So the winner wins that for his playing partner. Now, the runner-up doesn't go home empty-handed either. They will win this beautiful USA Today Network Wisconsin Frisbee, right? Play a little Frisbee when you get home with that. That is a prize package, at least the Frisbee, worth 5 cents. The Bobbles Galore bobblehead worth lots of money and a great prize. So, guys, you need the category.
There's EQ.
Are you there? Oh, yeah, there we go. You got
hold
it?
on, yeah. Hold on. What was the category? Wait.
Okay, there we go.
lost
Read
you.
it again, Brad.
Little glitch. The category tonight, the 2021 NFL season. You guys play in the NFL season. So here we go. How you guys feeling?
Good. Solid.
Solid. I would think so. They keep track. Trivia question number 1. Team has clinched the AFC's top playoff seed. EQ.
EQ.
Titans.
Ricardo score.
Right. 1-0 EQ.
He gets the bell. Trivia question number 2. This wide receiver won the coveted Triple Crown by finishing with the lead. Yes, EQ.
EQ.
Cooper Cup.
Yes, Ricardo score.
2-0 EQ.
Cooper Kupp, the Ram star, led the league in 3 main categories: receptions with 145, yards with 1,947, and touchdowns with 16. Only the 4th wide receiver to do that since the 1970 Super Bowl era, right, to lead the league in those 3 categories. Trivia question number 3, plenty of time, MVS. This former University of Wisconsin standout and Pittsburgh Steelers All-Pro tied, yes, EQ.
T.J. Watt.
Whoa.
Oh, you almost had
Ricardo
it.
score.
3-0 EQ.
T.J. Watt tying the single-season sack record with 22.5 sacks. The pride of Pewaukee. Down, near the Milwaukee area. Yep, tied Michael Strahan for the most sacks in one season. He had a sack yesterday's overtime victory over the Ravens. 3-0 EQ. Plenty of time, Marquez. I know he's just kind of laying low for the big comeback victory. Tree question number 4. This Dallas Cowboys coach has a street named after him near Lambeau Field. EQ.
McCarthy.
Yes. 4 straight. Yes, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy Way, right next to the practice fields there on the Don Hudson Center. Coached the Packers to a Super Bowl. He has guided the Cowboys into the playoffs for the first time since 20 NFC Championship game. That would be a fun game. Here we go. Trivia question number 5. This is the only team this season that went undefeated at home. EQ.
Packers.
Yes! A perfect game so far, Ricardo. What is the score?
It's 5-0 EQ, which makes this question worth how many points, Brett?
6 points. Timeout. Timeout for Marquez, yes.
No,
you give him
give him a round of applause.
Okay.
Round of applause.
Bonus question.
I think Marquez is hanging out.
Yeah, he can't beat me in anything else, so I'm just giving him a chance.
Okay.
Here comes the dramatic come-from-behind victory. Here we go. These 2 teams have horns on their helmets.
What?
Their helmets have horns. These 2 teams have horns on their helmets.
Whoa. Oh,
Marquez, here we go.
The Rams and the Texans?
Oh, no. It was close. EQ, do you know?
Well, I know the Rams. I'm trying to think about a second team.
They're nearby, very nearby.
hey, you can't be giving out.
Oh,
Well,
Vikings.
Yes, the Vikings. The game was over at this point.
Are you sure the Texans don't have horns?
The Texans have just like a Texans, like a logo, like a weird deal there.
I think I agree with MVS. I think it's like they have.
Well, we'll take the Vikings horns, the Rams horns. Right now,
The
seems to be discrepancy.
The Texans definitely have horns.
Texans have horns?
Texans. 100%.
Yeah, it's kind of like a.
It wasn't the correct answer.
It's a steer.
Correct
right?
answer was the Vikings.
We're gonna have
Texans
to check with our
Listen,
lawyers after the show.
I'm just telling you that the online folks are also saying Texans have horns.
Okay, well, we'll see. We might have to send a little bit better prize package than there.
Yeah,
There it is.
MVS.
3 teams have horns.
Texans. Yeah, it's a Texas long. MVS.
It is. So MVS does make the comeback.
Yes.
I stand corrected, and the lawyers are going to sue me for screwing that up. The Rams and the Vikings, I thought, was the correct answer.
That sucks.
That sucks, but that doesn't suck for Kathy because you win the Giannis Antetokounmpo bobblehead. Candy, we're gonna send you something a little bit better than this frisbee.
What are you talking about? That frisbee's amazing.
Maybe I'll get you a legendary Brett Favre.
Why am I sick? Nah.
Look at your face. You're sick right now that you lost.
I'm sick. I'm sick because I should have known the answer to my own question. Only on
great.
Clubhouse Live. So,
Great.
hey, congratulations, though. A fun game. And this is the quick segment here, Marquez. Nothing much more to talk about, but it is everybody wants to see what are Ace and Spade doing tonight. Those are your 2 lovable pooches. Let's see if we can get them here onto the big screen before we sign off.
They actually are asleep. Spade, come here.
They're asleep.
Come here.
Wake up.
They're sleeping.
Here. They're asleep right now. Spade's behind me. I don't know where Ace is.
Yeah, we did.
Find him. Hold on.
Who was on the screen before? I think it was Ace. So in the meantime, while he gets his dogs, Ricardo, up north, with USA Today Sports Plus. Well, he's going to carry him like a baby.
Look at that.
Yes.
Man, he got
He
big.
was just chilling.
He was sound asleep. Look at that. Look at that face. Good dog. Now he says, let me go back to sleep. Here comes the other one.
Where's my guy Ace at, man? Ace is my guy.
Oh, there he is.
They were both. That is what Ace and Spade were doing tonight. They were sleeping.
Drowsy. Look at him. He's all drowsy.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be carried like that. So there they are, Ace and Spade making their cameo appearances again here on Clubhouse Live. Yes. Good-looking dogs. Good-looking dogs. EQ, you got any pups at home?
I do not know.
No. Your
He wants
dogs.
he wants a cat.
Ooh. Cats. Yeah.
Savannah cat, not a regular cat.
How about a tiger, a lion, something like that? So
A cat.
there you go.
It's a cat, bro. It's a cat.
Ace and
bro.
Not a
Spade.
regular cat.
I like this segment, and I don't know if the dogs appreciated you waking them up, but that's how it goes.
No, they don't care.
They don't care. Hey, normally we'd go up north right now with USA Today Sports Plus. That's the new sports app that puts the fans first. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences with our award-winning sports writers. Download USA Today Sports Plus from the Apple or Google Play stores today. USA Today Sports Plus, fan harder. No Packers game this week because of the bye, but hey, I still got the victory visor here for good luck, right? For a good week of bye week. Hey, Marquez, what are you guys doing for the bye week as a team? You guys aren't going home, right? You guys are going to stick around?
Yeah, we got some practices throughout the week, some quick, short practices, so we can kind of stay, fresh. Get some days off to kind of recover, and then some quick practices so we can just keep our momentum going.
And
Nice, babe.
guys,
Nice.
you going to catch the
Nice, nice,
playoffs? I'm
nice.
sure you're going to watch those with a close eye, right?
Yeah, of course.
Check out who they're going to end up be playing in the divisional round. So, hey, programming note but before we sign off, no Marquez next week because of the bye. So he not only gets a break from football, but he gets a break from us as
From
well,
you.
a much-needed break. But we will still have a show, and I will announce our guest info soon on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. Marquez, hoping we'll get him back here in the playoffs and do some playoff shows with number 83 and help set the stage for this playoff run. So it should be a good time. Ricardo, Packers News app.
Yeah, with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from our USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. That Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Packers. Hey, this app is available for iPhone and Android users.
Special thanks to our sponsors and friends, Unison Credit Union, Bobbles Galore, Marco Lanichik Realty, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, USA Today Sports Plus, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Escort Limousine Service, Mike Thiel and Eric lives here, and the Paper Valley Hotel. Last keyword of the night. This is our final keyword of the season for your chance to win a cool canvas print signed by actually both Alan Lazard, one of him, and one of course, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. We're giving away one each to our online fans, and we'll have more as part of our season-ending in-person extravaganza edition. I'll announce details on how to submit and register your keywords during next week's show. Rosie, you have the keyword to show off. It is postseason. Postseason is the final keyword of our Clubhouse Live season. So there you go. Marquez, you have the final word tonight before we sign off.
Appreciate everybody for stopping by. It's been a great show. Thanks, EQ, and all your names and all your middle names. It's been fun. You still can't beat me in anything, and I just had to let the world see that. So, it sucks I gave you a chance, let you win 5 questions in a row, and you still lost. So that's that. You also can't beat me in a race. So moving on, and we are out of here.
Wow.
Race me.
Okay.
You live down the street. Pull up, bro.
On that note,
Racing.
for The Flash, for EQ, for Ricardo, and the rest of our Clubhouse Live crew, I'm Brett Christopherson, the psychopath, I believe, signing off here for the night. Be back here next week as we get ready, get us through the bye with a special guest. Again, we'll announce that here in due time, and then be back with us again in 2 weeks, of course, for Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Though, in the meantime, thank you. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for joining us. And I know Mean Gene is out there somewhere in virtual land. Mean Gene, take us away.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!